Welcome to this week's Ask Charlie and our how-to video. I am going to share with you one of my favourite recipes in the entire world, Aubergine Parmigiana. I simply love it, and I've never shared with you how to make it, which is a miss of me, so that's why we're going to cook it now. I absolutely love it. I think the first time I ever had Chicken Parmigiana was in a restaurant in LA, Los Angeles, with my cousin, and I was quite young and I remember it vividly. I just loved it. Parmesan, mozzarella, tomato, just absolutely delicious, and I think it works really well with aubergine. It's just gorgeous, and a recipe for you vegetarians. So I've just chopped off the ends, and actually I'm going to peel my aubergines because I just think it's easier that way, and it's easier to serve, and I just peeled them. I actually learned how to cook this from an Italian, and she very kindly shared her recipe. I've sort of adapted it over the years, but this is something that I love to eat in the summer. The fresher your aubergines, the easier they are to peel. You don't have to peel them, completely optional. I just do. My aubergines are peeled, my peelings in there, and I'm just going to slice these aubergines into thin slices. Not like ridiculously thin, but we're going for that sort of thickness. So I suppose a thickness of like a pound coin, maybe slightly thicker. I've got all of my aubergines sliced there, and I have got some lemon infused olive oil, which I just think works so well with the aubergine. It is absolutely worth investing in some of this. It just takes it flavour wise to another level, I think. So I've just popped some in a bowl there. I've got a pastry brush, and I have put Bako Glide onto my trays. Bako Glide or Magic Liner, this piece is really old. This is probably about 6 years old. You can wash it and wash it and wash it again and again and again, and I just love it from a sort of sustainable point of view because we are reusing it, we are not throwing it away. So wherever I can use this, I do. And you definitely want to line your trays for this, otherwise the aubergines will stick and it will be really frustrating. So I'm just going to lay them out on my tray. I've cut them as evenly as I can. It's not easy cutting them, so you know, don't worry, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be perfect at all. Just try and fit as many on to your tray as you possibly can. Let's go with a nice slim one. No, that's not slim enough. I'll get that down there. Now, there are lots of different ways of doing this, and this is the easiest way I have found, and I found that it doesn't impact on flavour. So years ago when I started making this, it was a real faff. I used to salt the aubergines, I used to let the moisture come out by the salt sort of drawing it out. I used to then pat them down with kitchen roll and take out all the excess moisture. Actually, I find for aubergine parmesan, you don't need to do that at all. And I'm going to show you the way I do it, and it still tastes absolutely amazing, but it's not so time consuming and still utterly delicious. So I'm just going to brush a good amount of olive oil over one side of my aubergines. I'm just doing one side, I'm not going to turn them and do them the other side. The lemon smells so good. I've turned my ovens on to 180 fan, well the bottom one's a fan oven. I've also put the top one on because I want to do a few trays at the same time. So yeah, about 180. I find that oven quite harsh, which I've probably said countless times to you, but it does, I find it quite an aggressive oven. And so I've set mine to 160, but if I was using a normal oven, I would put it on at 180. And if I was doing these in the Olga, I would use my roasting oven. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, sea salt. I'm just going to scatter a bit of sea salt over the top of my aubergines. I'm not going crazy on the amount of salt. Just, that's like a pinch and a half. I'm going to pop this tray straight in the oven and start roasting them. Well, I prepared the next tray. Those have had long enough. I'm just going to pop in another tray. They've had about 10 to 15 minutes. You can see where I've sliced them a bit thinly. Those have just gone a bit crispier, but it doesn't matter at all. You just don't want them to burn. I have got my aubergines here on a plate. They are all ready, they are all done, and I'm just slicing some mozzarella. I'm using 2 balls of mozzarella, but 1 would probably be absolutely fine. I just love mozzarella, and so I'm going in for lots of it, and it's just so good. I'm just chopping it into small pieces. I probably will have a little bit left over, but that is fine because I'll probably make some pizzas or something in the next day or two, so anything that I don't use won't go to waste. I'm using Mutti finely chopped tomatoes. I think this brand is really great. It's got great flavour and works really well, but passata works well. Like a tin of regular chopped tomatoes doesn't work so well, but you'll see this consistency in a moment. It just is quite like passata, and it's, you know, nicely finely chopped for us. So I'm just spreading a little bit in the bottom of my dish here, and then I'm going to lay a layer of aubergines on the top. Like this, and they can overlap a bit. That is perfect. Then a little bit more tomato. I'm going to just shred some basil leaves and add them in. And then some chunks of mozzarella. And this is where I don't hold back with the mozzarella. I really go for it, but you can use, you know, as much as you like. I just love a cheesy dish. And then another layer of aubergines. And then just keep building up your layers, a little bit like a lasagna. Just popping my final layer on, and a little bit more basil. Love basil. I've got Lola literally, well, she was asleep, she was just making sort of, she's such a good girl. So I've just popped the final bit of aubergine on, and I'm just adding a little bit of basil, and this is our top layer. I've got Lola asleep behind me, so if you hear a few snoring noises, it's my Labrador. A little bit of tomato. You used to be able to buy Pizza Express passata, like pasta, like the sauce that they use on their pizza bases, and that works really well, but I haven't been able to buy it for a while. But that has basil already in it, and the flavour's really good. It does make a difference on the type of tomato you use. This is sort of my second choice, but their Pizza Express one was really, really excellent. This is getting quite full with this dish. Could have done with a slight, I've got a much bigger one, or this one, or much smaller. There wasn't anything in between. And then I'm just gonna add final bit of mozzarella on the top, and then we'll grate over some Parmesan in a moment. And it is as simple as that. I mean, the thing that takes the time is just slicing the aubergine and grilling them. You can either grill them or bake them, or, you know, whatever works best for you. And I obviously just pop them in the oven. That's probably enough mozzarella on the top, so we'll just grate some Parmesan over. And then some grated Parmesan over the top to finish it off. And again, I'm being quite generous with the amount of Parmesan I'm using. There we are, it's ready to go into the oven, and I'm going to bake it at about 180 for 20 minutes until it's golden and bubbling and just looking delicious on top. And here is my aubergine parmesan. Just delicious. It smells so good. I cannot wait to try it. It had about 20 minutes in the oven, and you can see it's still quite warm, but it's just, you know, golden and delicious on top. Now, I would quite happily eat this by itself, but I suggest serving it with a lovely fresh salad, maybe some chicken. I think it works really, really well with chicken, and it's something that you can just, you know, have a small amount of, pop it in the fridge once it's cooled, and then reheat it, and actually it reheats really well. So I tend to make a decent size one, and then we'll just, you know, eat it over a couple of days and thoroughly enjoy it. We think it is seriously, seriously delicious. So hopefully you have enjoyed my easy way, because I really do think it is the easiest way I have discovered to cook aubergine parmesan. So delicious, so yummy, and I absolutely adore Italian food. And this is something I thoroughly enjoy eating at this time of year. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon. And in the meantime, I'm sending lots of love.